Oh. Oh, wait, does it see my mismatched socks?
No.
Okay.
I think we are good. Yay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So make yourself
Okay.
comfortable.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So, welcome to the show.
Hi, Brennan.
How are you?
Good. I'm doing well. First time I feel I'm doing well in my life, especially.
Really?
Yeah, especially with now this is always a topic because I have to live with managing my mental health. It's an ongoing process.
Yes. Yep.
Especially with what I am diagnosed with, I can't let it slip. It's a lot more difficult than most people think it is. I think for me it can go from like 0 to 1,000 very easily. So I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Obviously, people always think it's schizophrenia is one of those diseases, like you usually see it in dire, where like people are naked in the street, or it's always something like homelessness. They always see the thing is like, well, I'm going to go into the topic of the health portion of it.
Sure.
Where when we see schizophrenia, it's always a stereotype like they portrayed in TV, where I don't know if you've seen the movie The Soloist.
Yes.
Where, Jamie Foxx is portrayed as like this talented what do you call it? Celloist. Yeah. Where he's homeless, he knows how to play a cello. But he's plagued with schizophrenia, and it is true, you can let it get to that point where you're unable to you're almost debilitated by the disease, where you can't do daily things like take care of your physical health. That is a possibility, and those are things that I try to mitigate every day to not allow it to get to that point. That is a possibility, and this is why I stay on top of taking care of myself every day. The thing is that that's like the extreme. That's like the dire. That's like the dire extreme.
Sure.
But you take steps to keep yourself from doing it. You take steps. But it's not always like that. It sometimes it can look like me. Sometimes it could look like, oh, this is a person who has a job, it has some sort of stability, has things in place to keep, but that takes a lot of planning. It takes,
of course,
takes a lot of support. It takes a lot of, I've been on that other side though, where
naked in the street screaming.
No, well, yes. Yeah, I've been on that side, naked in the streets screaming.
Right. There's two sides, right?
Yeah, I have been
in. You don't have to plan for that.
Yeah, no,
you can just do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I don't. I've been. Yeah, I have been naked in. I've not been that talented with a cello, naked in the street screaming.
Sure.
I've
if
not.
You had a cello, then all of it is
yes.
excused.
Then
Yeah.
it's like
if you
for street performance.
If you
I've
can
never
make beautiful music, you could be naked wherever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that talented where I could. Where my art would matter, then it's a real. But
Yeah.
but what I find disturbing is when people see people that are homeless in the street, especially now with what's going on economically is.
Oh boy.
Right, exactly.
Let's stay on before we go into any macro.
Okay.
I still want you to talk about your wellness journey.
Oh, okay.
Because we could go into this shift of like bitching about everything else.
Yeah.
That's going, but that's a tangent.
Okay.
Okay. So with you having schizophrenia and having a job,
yeah,
that comes, and you say you keep it down.
Right.
What do you mean by keep it down?
Meaning that I keep up with my appointments.
Okay.
I am back on my medication now.
Okay. So medication, therapy.
Yes.
And
Therapy is an ongoing thing.
so the ways you mitigate the effects of schizophrenia, right?
Right.
Because it's a separate reality experience than how other people would think without schizophrenia, right?
Right.
So you deal with a lot of other things that impede your ability to just get through the day.
Yes.
Can you talk about I don't know how you would say it, triggers, hallucinations? What are your particular effects that have on you? What does schizophrenia do to you?
It's not necessarily, not at this point anymore, where it's like hallucinations or like visual or auditory or anything
Sure.
like that. That's when I'm really stressed. That's
So that's
when
a stress trigger.
that's a stress trigger. That's when things are really out of hand. And I can tell when it's getting to that point is because it's followed by deep suicidal ideation.
Sure.
That and that hits on a different point. That's followed by the suicidal ideation. That's when I know it's getting really bad.
Now, okay.
But other than that, the things that I do, the things that I notice that I have to manage is I have to manage my sleep.
Okay.
Because I will start to notice that when I don't sleep, I will get extremely aggravated.
Mm-hmm.
And not aggravated in an ordinary way where people will get grumpy and things like that. I will get aggravated to the point to where like
Yeah, okay.
like my first bet is to pull out like a what is it, a tire iron or something, and try to beat someone up like like that.
Okay.
Like that's the, you know,
So
but I don't do it because I know
you don't do it. So
yeah.
So even if you think about it,
Yeah.
the image, because you wouldn't normally think about beating someone with a tire iron,
Right.
But if it was a minor inconvenience, I can understand that. But
Yeah.
like, you know, but I mean, you don't act on it.
No.
Now, what prevents you from acting on it?
I will let that outlet, like that anger out. Like I'll go to the gym. If I know I have that in me, you know, that anxious, that anger, I'll let that out at the gym.
What if you don't have a gym around?
What if I don't have a job? Then I'll do push-ups in my room.
Sick. Okay. Okay.
You know, or well, let me give you another I do this thing, and this is what my sister said that she notices a lot. I do this thing where I'm constantly asking to confirm reality. I'm constantly going, like I'll ruminate. I'll constantly ruminate, and I will go through something over and over and over again asking, is this what this means? Is this what this means? Is this what this means?
Right.
My sister will say that I do that all the time. I don't see myself doing it because it's, to me, it's natural.
Sure.
It doesn't seem like something that
You're just checking in.
Right. But my sister says that I do it a lot. Like,
I mean, you're not asking like hints for a crossword puzzle. It's like there's other things that you're asking about. Like you're checking and being like, is this make sense for you?
Right.
Doesn't make sense for me.
Right. Or like I'm asking if this is really happening. And my sister will go, yeah, this is real. Like this is happening, this is real. You know, like this is part of reality.
When were you diagnosed with schizophrenia?
I was diagnosed when I was turning 20 years old.
So before then,
yeah.
What was life like for you before 20 years old without knowing what was going on?
I don't really remember.
Interesting.
I remember there was like hints of depression and like my brain being very aggravated. I remember just being aggravated and then kind of not knowing what was happening.
Were you a quiet kid?
Yeah.
And so all of that was happening inside?
Yeah.
Did you have any outbursts?
No, I just remember like staying in my room a lot.
And you couldn't socialize?
No.
It was too overwhelming.
Yes.
Well, but teen. I did that a lot too.
Yeah,
But
but it was,
lived. Yeah.
it was too. I remember even asking my mom, like saying, "Hey, I think I need to see somebody about this," because it was very like like I thought I had superpowers. And I was like, I think I could read people's minds, mom. And she's like, what? And then in my head, I knew that was a delusion. And then I thought, like, maybe I should see a therapist about it. Maybe this doesn't sound right. Yeah. And there's no way you can think, and it was almost like us checking myself. And I was like, no, this is crazy, like.
So you would read people's minds.
I thought I could.
What number am I thinking of?
7. No way.
No, it was a 5.
Okay. See, there's it was just crazy. It was just crazy stuff. It was like crazy stuff that I thought, or like.
No, but see, the thing is my brother has schizophrenia, and he would tell me all kinds of shit about stuff, but then I always would yes and it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't care what he was. It was awesome. Everything that he said, I thought was so cool.
Yeah.
And I never thought it was a problem, but it had when he was in school, probably towards like his later like high school up into college when it got really bad. Because my brother's so funny. My brother is so funny. Um, like impressions, act outs, full on scenes, characters. He can do all of it, but he is absolutely frightened for people.
Frightening?
No, he's frightened of doing stuff in public. He's good in a group, like with friends and stuff, and at home with the family, but he won't get on stage. But it didn't get bad until he started doing drugs, and then it would kind of manifest itself in like really extreme cases.
Oh.
Like extreme shit of just like breaking stuff or running away or just things you couldn't predict,
Yeah. See, I did all of those things, but I never did drugs. That was one thing I didn't do. I never did. I did drink. And I did have an alcoholic phase.
When
and
was that?
This is when I was in school, and I was trying to. I would drink just so I could get through all my classes.
Wow.
And I remember, I remember having to do, like, I was trying to get 3 degrees and finish them all in 3 years. And
sounds insane.
Yeah, I did. I did manage to do it, but it was all under the influence.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I remember I was taking like full loads, and I was taking like 25 credits every quarter.
Those are the loads you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, not
25 full loads. I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, not the nasty ones.
It's still the morning. All right, we're still the morning.
I remember I was taking 25 credits each quarter, and that was crazy in and of itself. And I would drink myself just to keep myself going,
just to get through
day. Just to get through it.
Now, how did you stop alcoholism?
It was a medical intervention that they said that my liver was so swollen to the point where, like, you're gonna probably need like
a transplant.
Yeah, if you don't stop at this point. Or
what were you drinking?
I was drinking everything. I was drinking
paint thinner. Like,
no, I was drinking everything. Like,
Everclear.
I was gonna get cirrhosis of the liver so quick.
I had a roommate in college who got cirrhosis from robo tripping.
Oh, what is that?
Mixing vodka and Robitussin.
Oh no. No.
And he drank it every day.
Ew.
Yeah, we got the Robitussin DXM, like the high powered shit, and then he would mix it with vodka, and we would all like, it would just look like waves.
No.
It was so crazy.
No.
I don't know if he's dead, but last time I talked to him, I guess he worked on a 50 Cent music video.
No, he's not dead. Not yet, at least.
That was a while back.
Is that what they call the purple drink?
Yeah, well, no, that's lean. That's promethazine.
Yeah, I've had promethazine, but I used to get that shit prescribed. Yeah, but
you can't really do that.
They had me stop for a long time, but this was after I had graduated.
Okay.
I graduated, luckily, and I remember this was a funny thing too. I recently remembered this when I would get hospitalized from like like attempted suicides or because my medication was like really fucked up. My sister would bring me my books for like my classes and stuff.
Oh.
And I would do my homework, and then when I'd get out, I'd take the exam, and then that was it. Like I passed the course.
Oh, cool.
But I remember she would do that for me.
Good sisters.
Yeah. But I was just surprised that I even passed. I was like, holy shit.
But you were actively drinking to pass.
Yeah.
It was just because the alcohol slowed you down.
Yeah.
So
because
could, so
it would slow down this, so I could focus more on this, on reading and that. So it would keep the chatter down, and then I could focus more on that. I feel like it was a reflex. Like the more stressed I would get, the more I would hear up here.
But being drunk would kind of mitigate that,
right?
You're not really stressed when you're drunk.
Right.
Oh. It's not a suggestion to start drinking.
No, it's not. It wasn't good.
It's not good.
It wasn't good, but like, it's because my mom, she had these weird expectations of me to be like a doctor and shit. And I was like,
so there was familial pressure?
Yeah. There was pressure for me.
Why is it always that?
I don't know. There was pressure for me to do things that I didn't want to do. And, it was just more like, I want to get by.
Sure. And it's just whatever helps that process and drink. Because I remember I was high all through college. I would smoke in the morning or go on a blunt cruise by the afternoon or something. And then I'd finish up my day just being high in class. And I don't know. I did well in college, but like I could have done better.
Yeah.
I could have learned more, I think. Like I was high all the time and just socializing. Anyways, mental health wellness journey. There's still a couple bullet points we have to go over. I would say now.
Well, I think because what the big problem is in terms of like, because what I see, I think it was easy for me to get through it because at the time that I was getting through it, I was still on my parents' insurance.
Okay.
I had the luxury of fucking up before I was 26.
Okay.
So all of that happened while I was still under their care. Had I not been under their care, I think I would have been naked on the street.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's where you see that dire, it's definitely a luxury for sure to be able to have insurance. And I kind of really, I feel bad. And I feel for those that don't have that support. They don't, they don't have financials. It's a fucked up thing when you can actually see it. You can actually see where we're lacking in terms of healthcare.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's fucked up when they're put into like a public system. because sometimes I feel like when they're in a public system, they're left vulnerable and all they want is just relief. And in that vulnerability, you see people that are under the guise of trying to help them, and they're just there to take control. They're just there to manipulate them in some way, and then just kind of like, well, I'm just gonna exploit you for whatever I can get.
So this is a very interesting point in terms of mental health services, because everybody suggests therapy, everybody suggests the suicide hotline, and then that's really the end of it.
Right, exactly.
So care for people with mental health issues is not extended enough. There's
I don't think
no infrastructure, and it's something that we've just never I think
we don't expand on it.
We don't address it at all in Western society. Or I think as humanity in general, like mental health is like, as soon as you get to a certain place, people are like, what
do we do now?
Yeah. And there's no like addressing of like nutrient deficiencies or psychological or even like holistic awareness. Maybe people just didn't get hugs as children.
Right.
Maybe they were traumatized from birth. And the only way to really do it is like make them go fucking earthing.
Right.
For a couple of months, put them in the wilderness, be with them, or a group, or put them in like a hug home.
But see, this, exactly. That's a good point that you make, because nobody ever tells you that this is an ongoing process. It's never going to end. Some people think that you go to therapy for a few months and then you're fixed. It's like, I've been to therapy for over 20 years already.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not fixed. I still think I need it. And you will.
And that's the thing, is the assumption that you can be fixed.
There's no fix.
There's no fix.
It's just support.
It's support and coping and mechanisms that allow you to get through the day to have a wonderful and vibrant life.
Right.
And the goal is always to be happy. The goal is always to enjoy yourself, but there's also levels and struggles and periods of life that don't go the way you want them to deal with those effects that allows you to exist, because everybody suffers.
Yeah, well, because I see it like this. You know, I may be okay, like in one stage in my life, I'll be like, okay, cool, I feel stable right here. You know, I'm all right.
Yep.
And then, you know what? Life levels up.
Yep.
And then I reach a point where like, I don't know how to handle this.
I don't know
and
what
then,
to fucking
and
do.
then I relapse emotionally.
Yep.
And then, you know, somebody dies in my family or some shit. And then all of a sudden, I don't know how to handle it, you know? And I'm like, why am I feeling like this? Why? And it's okay. You know, it's okay to feel like you need the support. It's okay to go back and ask for it. You're not losing.
No.
You're not losing because you need it. And I remember when I felt like the first time my doctor kind of like, I guess discharged me from the first time when he thought that I was okay, that I was stable. And this is when they kind of like, they were like, okay, we're gonna start taking you off a few of your medications.
You stop biting people.
Yeah. He's like, okay, we feel like you could go back out into the public, and you know, you seem to be able to control yourself a little bit better. You're not. It was when I stopped drinking, and then they were like, okay, you seem to have a hold of yourself. You're not drinking. You don't seem dependent on it. You know, and they were like, you can go out and, you know, you can do things. And the main focus was to get me back to getting a job. So I could be a functioning
to participate in capitalism.
Because apparently to them that was a sign that I was a functional human being in society. I don't know why that's the standard.
I hate it so much.
I don't know why that's the standard, but apparently it is to be a participating member of society, is that you have to be able to hold a job. That is literally the standard.
Yeah. In order for the machine to keep going, you have to jump in line.
And that is, and I kind of disagree with that, because I don't think that we should be measured by our productivity.
No.
But apparently that is still a standard for them, especially if you get your insurance through government. That's how they measure it. So
Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. So they let me go. They were like, okay, you're cool, you're free to go. They discharged me. And then I came back a few months later, because, I started reaching a point where I couldn't deal with my mom. And I was like, I cannot deal with her.
What's going on with your mom?
No, well, this was a while ago. This is when she was forced to retire from work.
Whoa.
Yeah, she was like forced to retire because she was having like health issues.
Oh, okay.
And then later on it kind of progressed and it got worse and things like that. And then we found out what the health issues were. Right. And then
it's all of that.
Yeah, like she was having like, well, she has like a heart murmur. And then we found out she has like she has the same kind of blood clotting issues that I have, but because of her heart murmur, one of her valves in her heart was not like, it's not pumping as much blood. So because it's not pumping as much blood, a lot of the blood was pooling in, and because she has a blood clotting disorder, it was clotting in that one valve. And so she was producing blood clots and they were just sitting there clotting. And, she was like majorly at risk of just dying in her sleep. Like that was, yeah. So we were like, oh, well, what are we going to do? And she would like freak out and she would like fight with everyone because she was over here freaking out that she was going to die. And then we're like, no, they just got to give you your medicine. And then she would refuse to take her medicine. I don't know why.
Did it have ill effects on her?
No, because I take the same medication.
And you don't feel it?
No.
And so you just refused to take it?
She just refused to take it because she wants people to feel sympathy for her, and she weaponizes it in a sort of way for like, she does this too, where I tried writing a joke about it where like she's at that age where she's like threatening her death against us. So they're like, wait till I die. She does that shit.
So she's like loving the attention.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. She's one of those people.
Drama queen.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, what will you do when I'm gone?
Yeah.
Right. How dare you? I don't have long left for this world.
And I told her, I said, Mom, we have the same blood clotting disorder, but you don't see me doing that shit.
See me bitching and falling all over the place. Yeah,
I'm like, I'm out there trying to live my life and do as much as I can, not sitting at home waiting for people to kiss my ass,
right? Or death to show up at the door. Yeah,
like I'm trying to live life,
live, laugh, love, babe.
But yeah, but she's got better health insurance than I do. She's got more at her disposal than I do.
But she refuses to get the care.
Refuses to get the care. And I'm like, if I had what you had, nearly half of what you had, I'd be out there fucking doing so much shit.
Yeah, but you can't. The thing is, what I've realized is not everybody has the same mentality. Not everybody is living in the same reality, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's some people who will literally sabotage themselves because they're afraid of actually becoming better.
You think really?
I've had this before with myself, and I've seen it in a couple of friends and even my own family, where it's like we could all make the choices to be the best versions of ourselves, but we don't, because that then means that
we'd have to put in the work.
Well, yeah, or take responsibility for where we're at now.
Right.
And like going to the gym or like running, and like I think about that every day, but then I go, fuck it, I'm gonna go have a cigarette, and I go and do that instead, even though I have a fully functioning, healthy body that could use that exercise and I would be so much better and healthier. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't do it. I would rather kill myself smoking cigarettes, because then that gives me a chip on my shoulder in which then to vent all of my frustration and anger that I have inside myself. And it's easier to destroy myself than actually trying to get better.
Oh,
That's just
know.
my personal take on it, because I feel like anybody who's doing drugs, anybody who's drinking, because a lot of my friends are alcoholics and it's all catching up with them, and I'm watching it happen in real time, and I'm just like, we don't have to drink, but that's not my need.
Right.
That's their need. They need to drink in order to feel functional, even though they don't, and it ends up ruining most of the times that we have, because if we just applied ourselves, it would be so much better.
Right.
And some people just can't get out of their own way. It's not healthy to do those things, but we do them anyway because it's easier to cope with that than thinking that it's going to make us better. I don't know. The fear of success, the fear of being better.
Oh no, you know what? I used to fear that when I was younger. I used to fear success when I was younger, and now I fear losing time.
Yeah.
And so I try my best to do everything that I can with the time that I have.
Yeah.
Because I remember being so young and like losing I felt like I lost so much time to most of my mental health, to most of my mental illness during that one, just in my 20s. I don't even remember my 20s because of it, because I was struggling so much with it. I don't even remember it. I just remember being drunk all the time and crying a lot and feeling in agony. You know, and I wish I could have that back.
So you could go back to your 20s and actually live it the way you wanted to.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Yeah.
I wish I could have that back. But I don't. And so now I'm just like, I can't get that time back, but now I can look forward and change what I can do in the future. That's all I can do, And at least looking now, I have I have a better understanding of what my illness is about and how to take care of it, and I know what I can do moving forward.
Your second part, we went through wellness journey.
Yeah. And the stigma.
Okay, so the stigma of being
yeah, that's the worst part that I've kind of like lived through in real time, even now.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think it's because you're so comfortable with it, and as well as being so pretty. When you say I am schizophrenic, people are like, "Oh, you don't look schizophrenic." Like, has that ever happened to you?
No, I don't know if it's because I'm pretty. I've had men say some really disparaging things to me.
Oh, okay, give me a list.
Yeah, I've had, I've had some men say like just awful stuff to me, that I'm a fucking bitch.
But you're not after that. Hey, I'm schizophrenic. You're
no,
fucking
no,
bitch.
not like
Okay,
not
so
like that. Like in
context.
because in context, like I very much so keep to myself.
Sure.
Just because I'm not that kind of person just to be like outgoing. I keep to myself just because I have to. Like I'm not. That's just the nature of who I am. I'm here in my head all the time. Some people always try to read me. They don't know that I'm already dealing with this. They don't know that I'm in my head, and they try to read me. They try to and I'm not there for other people. Especially if I'm at an open mic, guys will come up to me and be like, "Oh, how come you don't smile?"
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I'm like, what? Why do I have to smile at you, dude?
Oh, shut up.
Or, they'll say, how come you're so standoffish? I'm like, I'm literally not. Like, I'm sitting down quietly listening to the other comics. What is so wrong?
What is your problem?
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Like, why do I have to be here for you? I don't understand it. And, I typically wear a lot of black, and, men will typically say, oh, you look like Wednesday Addams. I don't like that comparison.
So unique. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I don't like that comparison.
Hot take coming in. Yeah.
You know, or they'll say that I look like a school shooter. Like, okay, cool. That's good. We get representation in that field. You know, it's a male dominated field.
Yeah. But it's so tiring.
It's like, come on, dude.
Men are so tiring.
You know, I'm not here for that. That literally isn't, that's not funny, you know?
Yeah.
You know, the cool way you could come up and introduce yourself, say, hi, my name is such and such, you know, thank you for coming to the open mic. I appreciate it. You know, what's your name?
Let's not be weird.
Yeah. You don't have to try to be funny with me. Like,
you're right.
We all know why we're here.
Yeah. Do it up there, stupid.
Yeah, we all know why we're here. Yeah. You don't have to try to practice your bits on me, dude.
Oh my God. It's so insufferable. Even hanging out with my homeboys too, and just hearing about their escapades of like trying to get girls. And it's just like, you're not even getting one. Why are we even making it a plural?
No.
No. It's like, at this point, it's like, it's so stupid.
No. Yeah, but no, I think some people could tell. I knew, like, when I told my coworkers, because they went to go see me at a show. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was like a Clark Kent moment.
Oh, cool.
But what was funny is when I told them that I had schizophrenia, they weren't surprised by that. They were more surprised that I was a comedian. They were like, so what? Yeah. They were like, you do stand up? What the fuck? We didn't even think you were funny.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh no, I thought that was funny. They're like, we don't care if you have a mental illness. Everybody here has one, you know. Like, and I was like, you know what? That's what I want to hear.
That's very sweet.
I was like, this is the place I need to be.
That's cool. Good friends.
Yeah. And so I was like, this is where I need to be, you know.
Now, with the stigma of schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Have you ever been denied opportunities, or because you said men say disparaging stuff, but like, have anybody given you like an adverse reaction to you sharing it? Being
yes.
Like, hey, I'm schizophrenic. Yes. And then somebody's like,
yeah. Yeah. When I first started stand up, I would talk about it on stage, and there was one guy who would say, don't talk about that on stage because you're going to scare the audience. And that stuck with me for a long time.
Was it like a comedy teacher? Just like
no, he was a comic. He was an open micer.
Where is he right now?
In Riverside.
Oh, no. There we go.
Yeah, he told me not to do he told me not to talk about that on stage. And I said, why can't I talk about that? I have to go home with it. Like, it's real, right? It's something that I live with. And, you know, it's not scary, you know, like, imagine how scary it is for me to live with it. Uh-huh. And, you know, I was like, I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm just not going to come to your mic anymore, dude. So that's exactly what I did.
That's right, because you have to go you're fucking Palm Springs, so you have to go. The closest mics are Riverside.
Yeah, so I was like,
son of a bitch, that sucks.
Yeah, well, that's, you know what? It was because of him that I started coming out to LA and started doing stuff out here, and more people were welcoming of that because it was different material. They're like, that material stood out. And so I started getting more opportunities here than I did out there because they were closed-minded about that kind of stuff.
Yes, because they're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that guy. What's another example?
I've had instances where, especially, I don't know if it's just, is dating an opportunity?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I've had instances, like, even in my past where I would tell people I wanted to date, you know, like, oh, this is something that you need to know about me. Mm-hmm. I would tell them that I had the illness, and they'll be like, oh, I don't think I would want to date you, type of deal.
Damn.
And that was like, and I think it was just more of just ignorance. They didn't care to want to know about it. They just didn't care. You know, they're like, I don't want to get involved. You know, and it's not, you know, and I've had people say, well, I'm not your therapist. I don't want to be there for you. And, you know, they just shut off emotionally, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who's dated people with BPD and borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, high anxiety, all the fun things, slightly autistic, but not even putting them in the same boat as schizophrenia. Just like somebody who has a condition, you respect that condition.
Yeah, but those are like primarily diagnosis they give to women though.
Yeah.
The bipolar personality, BPD, or major depressive disorder.
Right.
Yeah. They usually give like I know I've only met a few other women that have some form of schizophrenia, but it's more like schizoaffective disorder because they are high functioning.
Sure.
And I mean, to some extent, I don't know if I am high functioning or I was.
What happened?
But I don't know how they draw the line or how they even
see
that's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay. Like where they make that determination,
right? Because they're not in your head being like, you see the fucking little monkeys flying around in there. Like,
I'm like,
there's no.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, who created these rules?
We have the DSM-5, right? We have the American Psychological Association. We have community care therapy. We have so many TikTokers and Instagram therapists, and people are self-diagnosing. And for me, remember when I was watching this documentary, I forget what it was, but it was like each generation had their own sedatives were, right? Like there used to be Quaaludes, right? And then it was like Xanax, and then there's something else, but it was always to keep women in check.
Right. Yeah.
There was I forget the context of the documentary, but it was always talking about keep Valium, right? There was always like a hot wife drug.
Right. Yeah.
There were at the time that women would take in order to cope with the society that they were in, right? Or their depression or their nerves, or there was always some kind of thing that would keep women
right. Oh, okay. So what you're saying is like
it's a pharmaceutical conspiracy.
Oh, so you're saying like it's just to keep me in check because I'm always calling people out on their shit.
No,
because I know that might be true. Because before I remember being very outspoken when I was even as a young child. I was very outspoken, and I was always calling people out on their shit. That was one thing I remember before my diagnosis. As a kid, I had this great ability to be able to, what do they call it? A photographic memory.
Sure.
And this is how because when I graduated high school, I graduated the top 1% of my class. Ooh. And I had like a 4.2 GPA. And I remember even till now, I would read my books, my textbooks, and the way I would pass my exams is because I would memorize each page I would read. Now, it wasn't studying, it was just me remembering everything I read.
Right.
That's
just being able to.
Right. And then when that kind of went away when they started putting me on antipsychotics and antidepressants.
So your ability to photograph, or at least
photographic memory, yeah,
the ability to take a snapshot stopped.
Yes, I saw it kind of reemerge when I stopped taking them again.
When was that?
I stopped taking them in 2019, and I regained a lot of my memory back. And now coming back on the medication, I found it a little bit harder to do my set. I had to rehearse it just recently.
Oh wow!
So
yeah, you did that big casino show.
Yeah, that one was tough because I was like, I know I remember my life. This is my life. I wrote this, and I had to go out and practice it.
How has your stage presence been affected by your medication?
I don't think it's that much different. I noticed that I had to give myself more time to sit with it, but I asked and people said it didn't change.
Okay. Well, you can't ask. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a self assessment, really.
Right.
Yeah, because everybody's just going to tell you nice bullshit.
Right. But maybe in my mind, I was just nervous about it.
Okay. Um. Now with uh your medication, are you on a higher dosage than before?
No.
So
No.
same dosage.
No, it's not a higher dose. It's like a low dosage, but it's not super high. It wasn't high as the way I was on it before.
Okay.
It's just enough to kind of get me by.
Okay. Um.
But it's also enough for me to feel the side effects of like nausea and all that nasty stuff.
Oh, so it's not. It doesn't come out with. It doesn't come without its risks.
Right. Yeah, it was gross. I remember when I first started it and they had me start on a real low dosage and then they kind of put me on it like slowly. They increased the dose slowly. I remember I was at work and I was like, you can't be throwing up around the planes.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't sneak one behind a tire.
Yeah, no,
I
I
get
didn't
it.
want to throw up. I was like, no.
Yeah, no.
No, but I sometimes I will get like nauseous out there. Well, yeah, but what's going on?
Oh, one of the roommates coming downstairs.
Oh,
Hi. Yeah, I have a house full of people. So now when talking about your particular diagnosis with like coworkers and stuff like that, are your coworkers familiar? Because you
yeah,
talked
they know what it is.
Yeah,
They don't really care.
they don't really care.
No,
Nobody really cares.
I don't think it's not a big deal.
But do you want to jump into talking about dating stuff, or is not where you want to
No,
go? No, because we hear it
no,
enough at Mike's.
yeah,
Okay, so with this, well, I feel like we haven't really dissected the stigma enough, because I remember how my parents reacted to my brother having it, because my mom's older brother also had it.
yeah. You know what? That's funny too. My dad's aunt had it. But this was in Mexico and this was a long time ago where like the thing to deal with it was electroconvulsive or electroshock therapy.
Yeah.
That was the way they dealt with it back then. And I think they fucked her up to the point to where she became nonverbal. They like screwed with her so much. um she wasn't there, and her frequent the thing that she would do the most is she would run away and then she would be returned back home. One time she ran away, she came back pregnant and she had a baby, and then the baby died, and then yeah, it was bad. It's really bad. It's not good. It's not a good, like, these things don't, if you look at the history of mental health and all that, they never have any good stories.
It just seems like it's such a fucking shame, because
Yeah.
like my brother is such a sweet guy, and he's been kind of just left to fend for himself.
Yeah. Well, that's the vulnerability of it. That's the fucked up part about it, is that most people with it, they're not violent.
No.
They're often the victims of the violence.
Yes, they are.
That has been proven. That's a great statistic right there. That's a real statistic.
And I think just like the trauma cycle of it being inherited like genetically, and then like, you could have had a superpower.
Yeah.
Maybe it could have been something.
Yeah.
But it's just been warped because of the stigma, or it's been warped because people's personalities don't fit with everything going on. Like, you're not going to do good in school because you're not really thinking about that. You're not going to do good at a job because you're not really thinking about that. Right? It's like, what else could you be good at? with schizophrenia.
Or we're worried about what other people think. I think that's where the thing comes from, is we're so worried. We're terrified of what other people think. Because I know that's where the suspicion comes from. For me, at least, I was very highly suspicious of a lot of people.
Okay.
That was my thing, was being very suspicious. I was worried about what a lot of people thought
about you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big thing for No, it was I don't know, it was just weird random stuff though. It would just be, I don't know, it was just irrational fears. That's exactly what I know I had irrational fears. For, like superstitious irrational fears for no reason. Like sometimes it would be weird things like patterns. Like I recently started wearing color and things like this because I was afraid of patterns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's also a thing.
I appreciate you being brave.
Yeah, that was a thing for me for a long time. I was like, I don't know, I can't take a risk because we're like some things will like freak me out. But like, nah, I think we need to go. Sure. I would get this weird feeling. I would be like, we need to go. We shouldn't be here. Right. Like I'd say, I have a feeling something bad is gonna happen.
We're at Toys R Us.
Right. No. Yeah. I'm like, no, we can't be like stuff like that. I said, we gotta go. We gotta go.
But I really wanted Wendy's. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah, it would be stuff like that for like no reason. And my sisters would be like, I guess we just gotta leave. Like, I know my younger sister was very sympathetic to those kinds of things. And like slowly I learned how to dissect those thoughts, and then just kind of quell it myself. Um, and then I would slow it down
because you were aware of what you were.
Yeah, I was aware of. I slowly became aware of each thought. That was like, man, no, this is not happening. Like, no.
So you'd have to negotiate your own reality while it's happening. Yes. And then also talking yourself or self-soothing your way into feeling okay, even if you were unsure.
Yeah.
You would just have to accept the fact that that's crazy that you couldn't even like trust your own mind.
Yep. Yeah. I went through that. I had to go through like years of like cognitive behavioral therapy with those kinds of things.
Right.
Is learning how to quell those thoughts alone. Just cutting it.
Because developing, because I've realized also in like some of my dysfunctional relationships, like when you get read the wrong way, and you're like, that's not my reality, that's not what I want to bring, I'm literally trying to do this. And even in some friendships where it's like I have somebody who's paranoid being like, what are you what was it? Yeah, just even yesterday, I'm working on a song with one of my friends, and I'm just like offering suggestions, and then he's like, "I'm looking at the thing here," and I'm like, "Well, wait a minute, like, I'm just trying to help. Like, my intent, like, getting your intentions." And so I'm thinking, while self-censoring, you have to then make yourself believe things are normal, even if you're feeling that they are not.
Right. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like trying to root your own mind in reality, basically. Like trying to filter out, okay, what is it that what's going on? And then saying, this might be an irrational fear. This is what checks. This is what checks. This is what checks. This is what checks.
Right.
Okay. Like those kind of stuff happen because especially in relationships like that, that's a tough one for me because there's always that thing hanging out in the back of my mind where like, what if he's doing something? But that's a whole different thing. But
right.
Yeah, no.
Toxic us.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't want to be that. I don't.
Where were you?
Yeah, no. I'm trying not to be that, and that's what I'm trying so hard to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we kind of like went over everything. We went over the basic care of like the practicality of it too. Is, you know, what I do to mitigate a lot of it. And it's a lot. It's a lot.
So then what do you think is the solution? There's no solution, but I'm saying, like, what would be for you the comprehensive actual care that you could have deserved in your 20s? Like, what would you think is like your dream healthcare pipeline?
Well, that's the whole reason why I'm even doing stand up, is because through my 20s I searched a lot for answers, and there weren't any.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm even doing these kinds of things, you know, even trying to get information out there, even I know I did my podcast briefly, and I want to continue doing it.
Not at Deaf Noodles.
Right. No, not there.
What we found out.
Yeah,
after.
No.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no, that was
holy shit.
You got to disconnect from that. No.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't surprised.
I was definitely disturbed by that information.
What the fuck happened?
Yeah, I don't know.
It kind of just compounded itself in the building. Now he's running for Congress. What a fucking Looney Tune.
Wait, yeah, no, that's
what a
weird.
Looney Tune.
That's weird. Yeah. I was like, nope, sorry, got to separate.
Can't. I'm not gonna go do that shit again. No, it's weird.
But what I wish, I'm
your dream pipeline of like comprehensive healthcare for people who have mental illness.
A comprehensive healthcare. I don't think there is.
No, I'm saying if you had limitless imagination, what would you think would be an excellent program if you could develop it yourself? Like, what would your steps be for intake, patient care? What would be your solution?
I would want clinics. I would want telehealth operators. I would want that to be available for free. That would have to be mandatory.
Okay, so free access to immediate first responders.
Yes, and the access to medication.
Without intake.
Right.
But and then what would be the diagnosis based on what somebody is saying? Because this is what another thing I think about too is, how do you tell the difference between somebody having an episode and then the different level of psychosis of whatever that is? Because I feel like we lump in conditions.
Well, I mean, because when you bring a person in, the first response though to bring someone in is just to stabilize them.
Sure.
And to try to understand what's even happening before you even give them a diagnosis, before you even treat them. The biggest thing is, because you could still go to an ER, but when you're at an ER, they're more concerned about all the other patients that are coming in with bullet wounds and shit like that. They're not going to focus on you because you want to jump off a fucking bridge, you know?
Right.
That they're the least concerned. I think having, someone who's like, that's going to sit there that you could actually come in and talk to, instead of like doing that phone operate. I don't think the suicide hotline works. I think you'd probably get more care calling like poison control. That's how bad it is.
I've called the suicide hotline several times just so I could talk to somebody.
Did you ever?
Well, I'm still here. So that means it kind of worked. But like for me, it was, I couldn't get an appointment with a therapist because they only worked within certain operating hours. And I worked too much to be able to get an appointment. So like in high pressure situations, like maybe the past year, I've called it like 3 times just to like, hey, hey, I need to talk because I feel the walls and my ability to stay here isn't really good. I feel like I want to jump. I feel like I have the rope. I have whatever I need to do to end this pain that I feel.
Right.
I have all the tools. I'm just not doing it. And so I need to talk to somebody in order so I could just lay it out and be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And so I could just chill because I can't handle not talking about it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think there should be like some kind of, 24-hour in-house clinic that you could go to.
I would love it if they just had somebody like a home. You know what I would love? So here's my thing, right? Perfect healthcare pipeline. You call and they're like, hey, we'll send a shuttle right out to get you, right? So you get up, it's like a minivan, right? And they get in.
They give you a blanket.
Somebody has a nice little blanket, give you a hot cup of cocoa, right? You come in, sit down, they treat you like a person. They're like, hey, you talk to the driver. It's like a great jolly man being like, tell me what's going on. You're like, well, it's just been really hard. All these things. I'm not keeping it together. And it's just, I really want to, and they're like, you know what? We got the spot for you. They take you to this like little cottage. And they open the door, and
they give you oatmeal.
This old lady's like, "Come here, sweet," and they give you a big hug as soon as you get in there. You cry on their shoulder. They sit you down. They feed you. Here, we're gonna plop you down in front of a big comfy couch. Give you a nice little weighted blanket. Turn it, and just like make you all cozy,
like a burrito.
Yeah, and then give you a little stuffed animal. And here is some tea, and we'll put on your favorite cartoon. And then that. What? I just want to be treated like how everybody's
you're treated like a kid, like when you're a kid,
like how you should be, right? This that reparenting, because everybody is so lost, right? We just want to be taken care of.
You just want unconditional love,
just to feel safe. And if you created an environment where you would pay people to do that, which isn't hard, but also like wondering like why not everybody else could get that too. People are just abandoned in the street. People are victimized because they're different. People are left hung out to dry because they don't have the resources to support themselves.
Right.
And it's just, if everybody could just be reparented into knowing that it's going to be okay, I think a lot of hierarchy of needs after that could be fulfilled, right? If you just knew that you had a safe place to go to if shit hit the fan,
you wouldn't have to worry about that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just think that the American system has gutted that whole thing on purpose, where now our allegiance to the state and to corporations and entertainment is more than even our familial relationships. And a lot of people can't even stand their families.
Right. Well, because we don't prioritize that care anymore. People focus more on bullshit
and the individualism of it.
Yeah, all. They focus more on, oh well, how many likes can I get on fucking Instagram? Or they focus on the dumb shit, like, oh, let's do it for this, let's get this here. They don't focus on like the small wins that you get outside of like a camera.
Yep.
Yep. And that
as we're on YouTube talking about it.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I get it. But it's actually it's true. Like, you see people building community, but they want to have that community kind of like on camera. Like, that's like your small wins and successes don't always have to be projected. They don't always have to be recorded. Like, that's
in our time. I was watching this one thing. So it's only been maybe about essentially 20 years before we started posting pictures online and like Facebook albums, right? To memorize.
It started with food.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then Instagram hit in 2012. And now it's become this, we are performative, and all of our special experiences and times with our family have to be presented. And then there's comparison. Is my life as good as somebody else's life? And that's been super cyclical or destructive in its cyclical way.
Right.
But I mean, even me calling you over here for the podcast is like, when would we hang out otherwise? If I were like, hey, what are you doing on Tuesday?
I mean, I'd hang out with you.
I know. That's really sweet. But
I'd hang out with you. I mean, we hung out for Tim's birthday.
Yeah, but that was, okay. Yeah, we did hang out. We did. We definitely did. We had a great time.
Like that's like, see, but I'm that kind of person. Like I hang out with people.
But I also want to give people like the benefit of footage and things to use later and creating a portfolio of work. Also, I love working and having that kind of I don't know. It's I feel like there's a purposeful thing for me doing all of this.
Yeah, no, it's
a record.
no, it's definitely meaningful because I feel like some people just like to feel like they like to fill the what is it, the ethernet?
Ether.
Yeah, the ethernet full of like just mindless chatter. And I don't know. I mean, like going back to what I was trying to say, like I don't think that I think that people want so hard to be famous, but they don't know for what.
I don't want to be famous.
Yeah.
No. I like doing what I want to do whenever I want to do it. And I don't think fame really allows you to do that.
No.
No. You become obligated to the public.
Right.
You become your comedy then will be critiqued more.
You're scrutinized.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I like the fact that I can go into any shitty open mic and people will still mispronounce my name, which is fine. The day that stops is the day I'll probably stop doing comedy. Like if somebody's like, "Oh, you're Brennan Weeks," fuck. Now there's expectations. Fuck. Now I was just coming in here dry, So I don't know. Until they start saying my name right. Okay, so to give you, because we've done an hour.
Yeah.
Final thoughts.
My final thoughts are, I mean, to take away, I honestly just want people to just not fear being out there, and if you have something to talk about, otherwise, don't fear being ridiculed for it. Talk about it. I mean, that is probably the bravest thing that you can do is just to keep talking about it. Not being afraid. Existing, let's say, existing is the bravest thing that you can do, and pushing forward to doing it. Because more than likely, if somebody is trying to stifle you and silence you, that means there's something that you have that's worthy of being spoken of. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I think that's my final thought. That's my final thought. Is just keep pushing.
Thank you so much, Carissa.
Thank you, Brennan. I appreciate it.
All right, that's the episode. Bye.
Bye. All right. Was that good? Yeah.